Hi, I'm Jean, founding member of Canning Across America, and I'm here with my friend Victoria. Victoria's new to canning, so I thought I'd walk her and you through a simple recipe today. Today we're going to can Fiesta Salsa.
Thanks for showing me the ropes, Jean. I'm a big fan of salsa, but nothing beats fresh salsa, so I'm really excited to get started. I even bought these fresh tomatoes this morning.
Great. Well, since you're new, let's get started, and I thought we'd use the Ball Canning Discovery Kit. It comes with almost everything you need to can your favorite foods. Today we're going to can 3 jars of salsa. You probably have everything else you need in your kitchen. You need a large stock pot. Today we're going to use a 12-quart stock pot. You also need simple kitchen utensils like measuring cups, measuring spoons, a ladle, and a saucepan. The process of preserving food by home canning allows you to store properly prepared foods and canned foods in your pantry for up to 1 year. I've pre-washed our jars, lids, and bands in warm soapy water. We also need to bring our stock pot full of water to a simmer. We'll need enough water to cover the jars with at least an inch of water when they are submerged. It's also important to keep the jars warm while we're cooking our other things. I'm keeping our jars in our stock pot to keep warm. You can also use the steam setting of your dishwasher or even a crock pot. Use whatever's convenient for you.
That's great, easy enough. Now what do we do?
You won't believe how simple this is. First, I've placed 3 pounds of tomatoes that I've previously chopped into our saucepan. Now we need to add 4.5 tablespoons of vinegar. Would you like to add that?
Sure.
And give that a little mix.
Okay.
Okay. Now we need to add 6 tablespoons of our Ball Fiesta Salsa mix. Now be sure to give it a shake before you measure it.
Okay.
You want to add that?
Yeah. So I always try and look at the ingredients that I'm feeding my family. Is everything in this mix all natural?
You won't believe it. It reads like a recipe. It's actually just my grocery list. Green bell pepper, onion, garlic, spices.
And it just makes it easier.
It makes it a lot easier. And you can can a whole batch of fresh tomato salsa with just the mix and the tomatoes. The next thing we need to do is pour our hot salsa into the hot jars.
Okay.
And we do that by using our funnel. It's important to work quickly but carefully in order to make sure that the food stays hot and the jars stay hot.
Okay. And then how about, do I fill it all the way to the top here?
No, you don't. That's a really good question. What you do is you use your jar spacer.
Okay.
And you measure 1/2 inch. Now what we need to do is to get the bubbles out of our jar. The way we do that is we take a non-metallic spatula, we put it into the jar, and we just press the food from side to side to make sure we've expelled all of the bubbles. Would you like to try that?
Yeah, I can actually see them rising there. So the opposite side. Pretty easy.
Terrific. Yeah, it's very easy. All right. Now what we need to do is take a clean rag or a clean paper towel and wipe the rims, wipe the food off of the rims. Would you like to do that?
Sure. So that makes sense, right? Because if I'm canning, I don't want any of this food
on the rim.
In my rim. Okay.
Exactly. And what it does is you got to wipe the top as well to make sure that there's no food that comes between the lid and the jar.
Oh, okay. Great tip.
All right, the next thing you do is take the lid. This is actually the lid. This is the band that holds the lid onto the jar. It actually isn't the lid. And so what you need to do is put this on your jar and screw it until you just meet resistance. So try that.
Okay, so not too tight?
Not too tight. If you do it too tight, you actually can compromise your canning process. Great, that's perfect. So now you've got the food in the jar, the lid on the jar, and the band on the lid. Okay, now we have our 3 filled jars in our canning rack.
Okay.
And we need to submerge the canning rack into the boiling water. Would you like to do that?
I'd love to. Okay. So just drop it right in? Great. Easy.
Yes, very easy. All right. And now all we need to do is time it for 35 minutes, and that's how long it processes.
Great.
Okay, it's been 35 minutes in processing time, and then we let the jars sit in the hot water for another 5 minutes, and then we take them out of the hot water.
Oh, great.
Would you like to do that?
I'd love to. Now, do I need an oven mitt to take these out?
You don't. It's going to stay cool to the touch. That's one of the great things about this canning rack.
Great. Nice and easy.
Ooh. All right. Now, what you want to do is let these cool on your counter, and during the cooling process, you will hear what canners call a ping. It's a characteristic ping, and what that means is the lid is sealing. And the way you can tell by look is the little middle of the lid is going to be scooped inwards. It won't be puffed outwards.
Oh, okay. Yep, I can tell.
Yeah, and that means that they're sealed. And then they can be stored in your pantry for a year. Victoria and I hope everyone is marking your calendar for Can It Forward Day on August 13th. Host a party with your friends and see how easy and fun canning can be.